welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if it's not your first time here, thanks for coming back. So today, we are gonna be doing a 4 palettes, 4 looks video. This video idea was created by NYX Glitter Glue. I will of course link her channel down below, where it's a really fun way to get a little sampling of 4 different indie eyeshadow palettes. I'm gonna create a look with each of them, just have some fun, just play, get a little idea for the feel of the palette. This is not a review on any of these palettes. This is me just playing, maybe giving you some inspo, popping up some swatches if you're interested in seeing the swatches, anything like that. That's what today's video is for. I'm always putting timestamps down below in the description box if you want to skip around to any particular palette. Everything that I'm wearing on my face in every look will also be in the description box. And if you enjoy this while you're watching it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like indie makeup, definitely consider subscribing. We're gonna start with the Gourmande Girls and Doodles by the Bunny Silent Night palette. This is a beautiful holiday themed palette from the brand that just came out, followed by the Simply Posh Aurora Lights palette. This is a gorgeous like blue, purple, green palette. I absolutely love Simply Posh's formula. So this is a really beautiful wintertime color story. The third look will be the Glamlite Garfield palette. Absolutely love Garfield, and this color story calls to me a lot because I love me some warm tone neutrals. So this is a really fun palette to play with. And then the fourth look is the look that I'm wearing right now that I created with the Lethal Cosmetics Midnight Serenade palette. And this one is a little bit more like deeper sultry, but still neutral leading with some pops. So now I'm gonna send you off to the first look. All right, we're gonna create a look today with the new Gourmande Girls and Doodles by the Bunny Silent Night palette. I have already created a look with this palette, but unfortunately the footage was out of focus for most of the video, so I mean, the good news is I've already used this once, and I will say, just from my experience, I feel like it's the same normal Gourmande Girls quality. The mattes are really silky, blendable. The shimmers are really pretty. I used the shimmer here called Peace, and it is a really unique, it's very hard to describe. It's almost like a silver taupe, just a beautiful reflect. I'm not making any sense, but it is just beautiful. So got a really good mixture of mattes, metallics, and just like my first impression when I saw the pictures of this palette, I thought it was really pretty. I'm not a blue girl, right? Or like blues aren't my favorite colors to wear, but there's only really 4 blues in this entire palette. So you can add a pop of blue, but you can of course create a neutral look. You can pull in some of these golds. So I think today I'm gonna use the yellow and the gold. I didn't use that last time. I don't think I'm gonna use the blues today. Also, I'm sorry if I sound weird or if my energy's a little down. I am sick, so bear with me here. So let me give you a little bit information about the palette. So Gourmande Girls and Doodles by the Bunny, this is their 4th collaboration together, the 3rd one this year. The Silent Night palette, it retails for $54.99. I do have a code with the brand, and it is just Rachel. If you want to save 10% off, you can do that. It is affiliated, so thank you so much if you do use the code. This was an idea that Doodles by the Bunny had some time ago, and also our owner's favorite holiday melody, so we had to bring it to life. A non-traditional color story to take you through the holidays. 5 duochromes, 7 mattes, vegan and cruelty free. At the moment of filming, it is still available, so of course I will link it down below. I did receive this in PR. Thank you so much, Christina. I appreciate it. Let's create a look. I think I want to go right in for this yellow. I'm ready for it. It's like a macaroni and cheese yellow. I haven't had macaroni and cheese in a really long time. Sounds delightful. It is called Mother. That's the shade. So I'm gonna place this through my crease. Now, of course, if I use a fluffy brush, it's not gonna be super pigmented, but I wanna start with like a wash of color. I just cleaned all my brushes. Is there a better feeling in the world? Absolutely not. So let me just take this Singe EO3, my favorite crease brush, and I'm just gonna blend it through the crease. Let's see how this looks. So that is exactly what I was looking for. It looks really pretty, like a wash of yellow. And now I'm gonna go into the shade All Is Calm, which is like a neutral brown, a little bit deeper, and I'm just gonna put this a little lower in the crease. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Savior, which is the deepest brown, and I'm just going to place this in my outer corner. All right, I just put the NYX Glitter Primer all over my lid, and now I'm gonna go in with the shade Bright. Looks like a beautiful gold metallic. Very excited to place this on my lid. Looks like an ultra smooth metallic, which I love. That is so pretty. So pretty. Smooth, not chunky, just pretty. All right, I just went off camera and put some face makeup on my face. Everything else that is on my face in all of the looks in this video will be down in the description box. So let's finish up the lower lash line. I'm gonna go in with a little angled brush into the shade Savior, that deepest matte that we used, and I'm just gonna run this against my lower lash line. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade All Is Calm right here, and I'm gonna just blend that out. And then lastly, I'm gonna go into Mother, that yellow, and blend it out. I love that there's a matte white in the palette. I'm definitely gonna use this in my inner corner. There is also an iridescent duochrome here that would be really pretty if I had used some of the blue shades, because it shifts in like a blue and purple. It's so pretty. But for today's look, I'm gonna go into the matte white, which is called Snowy, and just place that in my inner corner. All right, and this is the finished look. What do you think? Listen, I think it came out so pretty. I love a neutral look. I would consider this a neutral look. Even though it's very like yellowy gold, I consider yellowy golds neutrals. I don't know about you, but yeah, I think it came out so pretty. I love a smooth shimmer, and of course, Gourmande Girls puts in a few different shimmer formulas in their palettes usually, which I love. Like I said, you have this iridescent duochrome, you have this more smooth shimmer. Even the one I used on my last look is a smooth shimmer. And then these blues look a little more textured, so you get a good variety. The mattes blended easily. They are definitely on the silky side, so they're not like overly pigmented, which I think is good if you like to build up your shadows. I have no complaints. I have no complaints. I love it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and now I'm gonna send you off to the next look. All right, we're gonna do a look with the Simply Posh Aurora Lights palette today. I'm so excited to play with this beautiful, beautiful palette. And I did already swatch this, and the mattes swatched amazingly. So I have very high hopes for this. I think I want to play with some purples today. That's what I'm thinking. So let's just go right in. I think I want to start in with the gray called Polar and work it into my crease area. Let's see how it looks.
"12 seconds later."
Look at me going into the tutorial, and I haven't even told you anything about the palette or showed you swatches yet. So this is the Simply Posh Cosmetics Aurora Lights Shadow Palette. It retails for $45. It's a pressed pigment / eyeshadow palette containing 12 pigmented mattes and 6 sparkly duochrome shimmers. The way that they lay out their palettes is really smart and really user-friendly in the columns, where you can stick to the columns to create monochromatic looks. I did receive this palette in PR from the brand. I do have an affiliate code with Simply Posh. It is Rachel, and it does save you 10% off when you use my code. Thank you so much if you do. It does help me out a lot. Okay, back to the look. This gray is really pretty. It's definitely, at least on my skin tone, showing up with a very strong blue undertone, which I think is gonna go good with the purples. I'm gonna use the same brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Swirling, this really beautiful purple, and I'm just gonna place that a little lower in the crease. Very pigmented. So beautiful and really effortless and easy to blend. Very pigmented, as I suspected from the swatches. Next, I'm gonna go in with the shade Brilliant, this deeper purple, and place this lower in the crease and in the outer corner. Those mattes blended so easily. Beautiful. I want to deepen it up a little bit with the black, which is called Night Sky. I'm just going to place that in the very outer corner. All right, for the lid, I'm gonna go into the shade Electric, which is a blue and purple duochrome, and even has a little bit of green, I think, in there. It looks absolutely beautiful. I did already put the NYX Glitter Primer on my lid off camera. I just love Simply Posh's shimmer formula. It is smooth yet sparkly, which is my favorite type of shimmer formula. It's not chunky or textured, but it gives like a really reflective, beautiful shine. That is beautiful. Gorgeous. All right, I'm back with more makeup on my face. Everything, of course, that is on my face in all the looks will be in the description box. So let's finish up the lower lash line together. I'm gonna start off with the black Night Sky. I'm gonna put that on a really small flat definer brush, and I'm just gonna run that up against my lower lash line. Then I'm gonna go into the shade Brilliant, that deeper purple, and I'm gonna blend that out. Then I'm gonna go in with the shade Swirling and blend that out. In my waterline, I'm going to put ColourPop's Charmer. And there is really no perfect inner corner highlight for me in this palette, so I am gonna reach into something else for an inner corner highlight. I will come back with my entire makeup done and I will show you the final look. All right, and this is the finished look. What do you think? I think it's so pretty. I love the shimmer on the lid. Like Simply Posh's shimmers. That was a struggle to say. Their shimmers are just so pretty. Smooth and sparkly, okay? Not chunky, but look at the reflect. Look, you see it. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now, of course, if you've been here before, blue is my least favorite color to wear. Like blues and teals and aquas and like greens with blue undertones. So of course these two rows in the middle or these two columns in the middle aren't like my go-to, but I will say the mattes swatched unbelievably. Like they're very pigmented and all the mattes that I did use on my eyes performed great. So if you like this color story, I think this is so far really good quality. I'm definitely looking forward to playing with this more. This shimmer light show, it's like a dirty olive green. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Yes, I'm so excited to play with that. I would love to know your thoughts down below. Did you pick up this palette? It is available now, by the way. Did you pick it up? Are you thinking about picking it up? Have you never tried Simply Posh before? I would highly recommend if you haven't tried them. They're very, very good. So now I'm gonna send you off to the next look. All right, now we're gonna do a look with the Glamlite and Garfield palette. Let's talk about this packaging. 20 out of 10. 20 out of 10 in my opinion, where the elements are so cartoon-like, so vivid, beautiful. Like in person, it's kind of hard to describe how well done this packaging is. I love it. And this is the actual palette itself. So, so fun. I was a Garfield fan as a kid. I loved reading the comics. I loved the TV show. So it's very nostalgic to me. And I'll be honest with you, when I saw this color story, I almost melted to the floor because I love warm neutrals and I love oranges. So this is calling to me for sure. I'm so excited to put this on my eyes. Let me give you a little bit of information about the palette and I will pop up some close-ups and swatches. Introducing the perfect curated Garfield x Glamlite 12 shade palette. Dive into the world of warm, rich coziness with 12 irresistible shades from rich browns to fiery oranges, shimmering golds to sultry burgundies. Every palette is uniquely customized with Garfield's adorable paw and iconic face. The palette retails for $25. Glamlite is cruelty-free. The palette is vegan. I did purchase this myself, so just wanted to let you know about that. But I'm so excited to dip into this. You have no idea. Let's just get to it. A lot of times with Glamlite, they don't put a lot of light matte shades in their palettes. And in this palette, there's not too many very light matte shades. but I'm gonna go in with this shade called Perfect Match. Let's try this. I'm not sure, maybe I would wanna go in with the yellow first, but I wanna try this shade very lightly on a Singe EO3. Let's give it a shot and see if we can sheer it out. So with that fluffy brush, I was able to sheer it out and make it more, for my skin tone, more of a transition shade. I want to use the same shade, but with a slightly smaller blending brush. And I want to just intensify it a little bit more, a little bit lower in the crease. And I was able to do that, in my opinion. Okay, very good. I'm not sure how this is gonna work out. We'll give it a shot first. So I wanna go in with the shade Donut Please, which is a warm brown. I don't know how much like differing in depth these are gonna be, but let's give it a shot. I'm gonna use the same brush I just used. Let me just place this a little lower. That might have done something. I'm gonna go in the outer corner with the shade Silly, a slightly deeper warm brown. Beautiful, listen, I love a warm tone neutral look. This is building out to be a gorgeous neutral look with warm undertone, okay? I'm gonna put the NYX Glitter Primer all over my lid. All of these shimmers look so beautiful. Glamlite shimmers are just some of the best. I think I want to go into this like fiery orange called Teddy Bear. It's so pretty. All right, you might hear my air conditioning blowing on my microphone. It should be going off soon. So we're gonna just get on with it. Of course, like I've said, every look that I do, I list everything I'm wearing on my face and all the looks in the description box. Let's continue on to the lower lash line. I'm basically going to just repeat the same mattes like I always do on the lower lash line. So I'm gonna grab a tiny little flat definer brush. I'm gonna start in with the shade Silly and just push this up against my lower lash line. I'm gonna go in with the shade Donut Please on a pencil brush and blend that out. And then I'm gonna blend that out with Perfect Match. I'm gonna put ColourPop's Sunnyvale in the waterline. And just because I'm feeling a little festive, the day that I'm filming this, it is Christmas Eve, I think I'm gonna pop Heart of Gold just on my lower lash line in the inner part. I'm gonna pick it up on a little pencil brush and I'm gonna spray the brush. All right, and this is the finished look. What do you think? Listen, this is the kind of look that I live for. Warm neutrals, oranges, like the warmest of warm, okay? I love it. I love it. All of the shades that I used, they performed great. I don't really have any complaints. The shimmer is just like super sparkly. I love Glamlite shimmers. The mattes were very easy to blend, very easy to use. I was able to sheer out that color that I used as my transition shade, Perfect Match. And then I was able to build it up as well for a little more depth. For my blush and highlight, I used the Garfield For the Love of Lasagna face palette. I love the name. I have been trying this and like testing it out, and I will say these blushes are very, 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 very pigmented. Literally for today's blush, I took the fluffiest blush brush that I own. I barely tapped it in there. And then I shook it off like 20 times and then went on my cheeks. And I did that about 3 times, and this is what I got. So very pigmented, like hardly any product on the brush. So just be aware of that if you are my skin tone or lighter. If you're not like wanting to be very careful with your blush, I don't suggest this, but if you have a deeper skin tone, these are absolutely gonna show up on you. I'm willing to bet. I don't know for sure, but I'm willing to bet. And then this highlight I've been wearing a lot. It is absolutely beautiful. It is more of a sparkly highlight without being like too chunky, and it has a reflect of like goldish green. I don't know, it's so interesting. I really like it. I've been wearing it, like I said, quite a lot lately. So yeah, Very impressed so far. Of course, only used a handful of shades, but I love that this is a more curated color story. It's a 12-pan palette, which Glamlite doesn't really usually do smaller palettes, so I really appreciate how curated this color story is, and I can definitely see different looks in this color story. It's not just all warm tones, oranges. We have this red, which upon like further investigation, it definitely looks like it has like a berry undertone. We have a purple. We even have this cool toned like blue, and this shimmer here is like a purple. So there are different options in here, which I like with a smaller palette. So yeah, let me know if you picked up this collection, anything in the collection, let me know. And now I'm gonna send you off to the next look. All right, so we're gonna do our fourth and final look today with the Lethal Cosmetics Midnight Serenade palette. When I first saw the sneak peeks of this, I knew I had to have it. I knew I had to have it. I love the cover art and I love this color story. This has to be one of my favorite color stories I've seen in a really long time. It's neutrals, but it's also a little bit of colorful in there, but just stunningly beautiful. I've only ever purchased or ever tried one palette from Lethal, and it was the Teresa is Lethal palette in collaboration with Teresa is Dead. I did order their holiday collection last year, but it got lost in the mail, so I never received it, unfortunately. So I'm very excited to dip into this. The reason I'm mentioning that is I can't really compare this to previous formulas. Obviously I've used that one palette before, but I'm not like super familiar with the Lethal Cosmetics formula like I am with the other 3 palettes I featured in this video already, but I at least can tell you my thoughts, my initial thoughts on it and create a look with it. So the Midnight Serenade palette is available now. It says our first ever 15-pan eyeshadow palette is a gothic dream filled with impactful duo and trichromes and 8 pigmented mattes. The palette retails for $45. They are vegan and cruelty-free. 8 mattes, 2 metallics, 2 duochromes, and 3 trichrome eyeshadows. I did purchase this palette myself. And let's do it. I'm very excited to create a look with this palette. I'm thinking I want to do something kind of rosy toned. So I'm going to start in with the shade Crescent here and just place it through my crease. I have, of course, already primed my eyes. That's a really pretty soft, like peachy crease shade. Love it. Next, I'm gonna go in with the shade Omen, just a little bit lower in the crease. The mattes are very powdery. Like there's a lot of kick up in the pan. I don't necessarily remember that from before, but again, I've only used that one palette. The mattes are very pigmented though, or this one is for sure. Yeah, those mattes are really pretty easy to use. Don't have any complaints. Next, I'm gonna go in with the shade Velvet, which is a really pretty purple, and place this on the outer corner. I'm gonna place the NYX Glitter Primer all over my lid. Then I'm gonna go in with the shade Enchantress, which looks like a duochrome that goes from pink to gold. Let's see. Really pretty. So the first time I did this eye, I picked up way too much on my finger and it was a little thick and chunky, but this eye I picked up less product and I think it worked a little better. Very strong shifting. Like, I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you saw anything, but it's very strong shifting. So let me go throw on some more makeup. I will be right back. All right, let's continue on. I am going to take a flat definer brush. I'm gonna take the shade Velvet and just push that up against my lower lash line. Then I'm gonna go in with the shade Omen and blend that out. And then I'm gonna take the shade Crescent and blend that out. In my waterline, I am going to put ColourPop's Charmer. For me, in this palette, the only real like inner corner highlight shade is this shade Starlit, and it looks like it's an iridescent duochrome that goes from blue to pink to white, so yeah, screw it, let's use it. I will say, like just now touching these shimmers, they're very pretty, but they do feel a little chunky, so I am gonna pick up Starlit, and I'm gonna spray the brush. All right, and this is the finished look. What do you think? I think it came out really pretty. Listen, I love a pinky purple rosy look. The shimmer on the lid looks really pretty. Like I said, it is a little bit thicker of a texture, but when it's on the lid with a glitter primer, it looks really, really pretty. And I wasn't so sure about this iridescent duochrome in the inner corner, but I actually think it came out really pretty. I like adding that little pop of basically a blue. It does just give a little something different to the look. So that's kind of a fun touch. I will continue playing with this and all of the palettes, of course, and give you my thoughts once I have more of an idea of the formulas and creating more looks with the palettes. But this is just a fun way for me to create some looks with these palettes, use them, maybe give you some inspo if you picked any of these up, or if you want to shop your stash, you can absolutely do that, of course, and maybe get some inspiration, or maybe you're just here for fun, watching for entertainment. I appreciate that if you are. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and I hope you have a great new year, and let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, I love hearing from you. Did you pick up any of these palettes? Are you interested in any of them? What are some palettes that you bought this year or that you've been using this year that you've been loving? I would really love to know that as well. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing before you leave. I do upload videos weekly, and I'd love to see you back on my channel again. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.